Hi, I'm Ruth Mullen from the Farmington Hills Historic District Commission, and we're going to be visiting a building that Marcus Burroughs built for Lumen Goodnar that is a very special building. We use it now as a artist studio, but before that time it had other uses. Lumen Goodnar, a Detroit attorney with a good deal of money, bought into what was the Palmer Sherman farm, and he converted that to his private estate. He did some of his work with the architect that was renowned in Detroit at that time, who was Marcus Burroughs. He was head of the Architects Association at that point. And then this particular building that we're going to be looking at is really fascinating because it is a three-part building. Right now we're sitting in what was the garage. South of the garage was a chauffeur and his wife, who was the cook. And he moved the house that Palmer Sherman had built down here, and it was used for the farmer and for the groom for the stables. And the horses were housed in here, along with the automobiles. The horses were housed here. The details of this particular building are similar to the details on the Longacre house, and it is really a unique building because of the sort of thing it had in it. It had the stables and the tack room. And now I'm going to be talking to our local historian, Brian Golden, about what it's like to have this barn right near his little history center that is in the original Palmer Sherman house. Hi, Brian. What have you noticed going on over here in the building?
There's all kinds of activities here in the building, Ruth. One of the most predominant activity is they've converted the garage portion of this stables building into for art classes. So they definitely have done a wonderful job repurposing this, or what's referred to as adaptive reuse of this building. Because if you remember, they kind of let the building go, and the roof section of this building was starting to cave in, and animals were living in here, and they actually did a very, very nice job under the direction of Dave Boyer. They started a whole new restoration project, and now the building is being put to absolutely fantastic use for art classes and training and photography classes. So it's used by the city for terrific functions.
And of course, Mrs. Spicer brought in the red barn, the other barn that is here. That she used that one for the cows that she had.
Yes.
It was 1960, I was told,
Really?
that they had to get rid of the cows because they could no longer pick up the milk.
Wow.
They had, in 1950, they started to get the subdivisions came into Farmington, which eventually became Farmington Hills.
Right.
And so if they didn't have enough dairies at that point to keep picking up the milk, so the cows had to go.
What a shame.
Yes.
What a shame. That barn has been used for different purposes over the course of this last many years. But thanks to Jean Fox, she acquired a lot of farm implements. A great wealth or the area of Farmington Hills, which was Farmington Township, was all farmlands, as you know. And so she was able to preserve a little bit of some of those farm implements by acquiring them and then putting them in the barn appropriately as a place for storage, but more importantly for display purposes.
Well, it was Farmington Hills at the time she did this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because the township was still centered down in downtown Farmington,
Yeah.
in Masonic Temple, which
Yeah.
was a combination
Right.
building at that time.
Yeah, amazing.
There's a lot of combination buildings that people were very efficient in the things they did here,
True,
which is terrific.
true.
And we could take it outside, look at the barn where they mounted their horses and rode all over. They loved to ride.
Sure.
Farmington Hills was known for its horses. Each one of these estates, they had horses in them. We could go outside now and point out the various things on this building that were unusual and were definitely Marcus Burroughs' signature on it.
Yeah, let's do that.
This way, of course, is the doors to the garage. And if we go down a bit, it's where they used to bring the horses out and mount them with a rock that they used to climb on the horses. The detail of the building is similar to what is in the Longacre house, what they put on the Longacre house. You see, and there is where they moved the Palmer Sherman house, with a special door for the groom that took care of the horses. And this way, if you look the other direction, is a driveway that, if we go over just a little bit, goes up to the Longacre house where they used to bring the cars up for Mr. Goodenour to go to the office in. He had his office in the Penobscot building in downtown Detroit. Well, thank you, Brian, for coming out and helping us.
The pleasure is mine, Ruth. It's always refreshing that you come out to the Heritage and History Center here in Heritage Park and let the community know that we have a wealth of heritage here in Heritage Park. That's why it's appropriately named. And thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming.
No, I appreciate it.